Hello, beautiful souls, queens. Welcome again to Yoga Yoginis. Let me tell you something you probably didn't know about me. The very first time I practiced yoga, I was 6. Yep, 6 years old. But it took me more than 20 years to understand how deeply it will shape my life. Maybe you're on your own healing journey. Maybe you have been feeling like there is something missing in your life, something that you don't know what it is, but you would love to find it, that thing that aligned with your energy, with your heart. And if that's you, this episode is for you. This is my story, how I went from a party girl, bartender, tractor driver to a yoga teacher, manifestation coach, and living a life that feels real, aligned, and magical. Let's begin. So, I was 6, and my teacher told us to breathe into our bellies. I remember before classes, she was trying to explain us breath techniques, and I thought, how I'm gonna breathe into my belly? I was like, that's impossible. And that was the little seed that was planted in my yoga journey. Actually, I want to send lots of love to that teacher, Pamela. Thank you so much for introducing this little seed in my yoga journey. Then life happened, like normal school, friends, relationship, jobs, all the things that we think we're supposed to do. I finished school and I went to uni to start my business administration degree. When I was in uni, I was 18 years old. I remember there were couple-free classes like basketball, yoga, Zumba, tennis, and I signed up for yoga and Zumba. So I was shaking my booty and then going to relax in a Kundalini yoga. I remember I was going maybe twice per week. I was enjoying a lot, but I never felt like it was my passion. And then I finished uni and I started working in the office, corporative job, full makeup, high heels, looking successful. But something inside of me was feeling disconnected. I will occasionally do a yoga class on YouTube, but I wasn't consistent. I wasn't listening to my heart. I was doing what society, people, family were waiting for me, and I was making happy everyone, but not making me happy. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like living a life that everyone is looking at you like, wow, this girl is doing it amazing, but you're feeling like, I don't feel like I'm happy, I'm over the moon like this? Like your soul was whispering to you, but you were too busy to hear it? Well, so after that, I remember coming back to when I was in uni doing my classes, my yoga practice. The first time I did Shavasana, I fell asleep, and maybe you have too. That's okay. I really want to normalize to fall asleep in Shavasana, to snore in Shavasana. Lots of my students do, and I just love it. You're super relaxed, so it's great. And maybe you have done it too, so I really want you to know that that's okay. Yoga has a way of giving us exactly what we need. Then, coming back to my story, then I moved to Santiago, the capital, to work in this corporative life after uni, and then I came to Australia. If you want to know more about this path, how my life changed from this corporative life, heels, makeup, to come to Australia, to being a backpacker and find my passion, that is yoga, you can go to the other episodes that I have already recorded for you to inspire you and to share from the deepest of my heart how everything it was. But now let's keep going with this yoga story. Signs from the universe. One day, I was walking home from the beach in Maroubra in Sydney, and I saw a purple yoga mat left on the street. It was like the universe was saying, come back, come home to yourself, do yoga. And because here in Australia it's really common that people leave things outside, even on Marketplace on Facebook, but a lot of things outside in the street. I have a friend that she found a Kindle. Imagine a Kindle! How lucky! Another friend found a tarot deck. I found a yoga mat. Sometimes you can find TVs, couch, furniture, many things. Australia is great. Well, so I started to practice on my own again with this yoga mat that I found in the street. No teacher, just YouTube, just me, connection, my breath, and the mat, my purple mat. Even while working as a bartender, a laboratory assistant on an olive oil farm, in a hops farm, and even driving tractors during night shift, I was being a backpacker, trying different things and filling my pocket. I was also living the full Aussie backpacker life. You know, I got a camper van and I started to travel around all Australia, Tasmania, NT, Western Australia, Queensland, South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, everywhere, every corner. So going to bars, drinks, meeting people from every country, practicing my English, and I started to feel like, I remember I was in my 4th year in Australia. I was in Western Australia at that moment, around Margaret River, and I started to feel it like I didn't want this life anymore. But not the traveling life. It was the life of drinking, of chaos, of festivals. That for a moment I enjoyed lots, but then was like, no, I think it's not anymore for me. So at that moment I was working in a bar as a bartender, and I remember the owner was like, okay girls, I want you everyone with a drink in your hand, so people want to drink too. Shot. And that was my life. Also doing a lot of yoga in my free time, but when I was working, drinking a lot, finishing the shift, the boss like, okay, let's play some pool, some drinks, and it was fun. I was meeting people and I was having fun, but then hangover, and it's like, my body was feeling heavy. And at that moment also, I have always been journaling, always, since I'm a little girl. I have like 100 journals and I can read it when I was, this is another story, but sometimes I read my journals and I don't know, I was 10 years old, and I can read things like, I would love to live in another country, things that I manifested without know about manifestation. I did it just journaling. Anyway, now I was in Margaret River, and I was writing like, what's my passion? And I wrote a couple of things like Alice, yoga, kids, cooking, plants, snorkeling. And I promised myself I will try them all. I was doing a lot of snorkel. I working as a nanny to be more time with kids. I was cooking lots. I was reading books about herbs and plants and medicinal plants. And I was doing a lot of yoga. I even made a deal with the universe. I remember. I thought like, I think I need to explore more yoga. I would love to go to a yoga retreat, but I was needing money, going to, well, I could do it in Australia. I don't know why I was thinking to do it overseas. So I was needing money, and I remember I made this deal with the universe, and I said, if I get more than 4,000 in my tax return, I will go to a yoga retreat. And guess what? I got 4,400. 4. So I booked a retreat in Costa Rica. I couldn't believe when I got that money. I mean, I know it's my money, but it's also how you move your numbers, and I always have done my own tax return, so I'm never sure if I did it well or no. And this time was like, oh my gosh, I need to go. So I booked a retreat, I booked the flight, And on the first day, I cried. Not because I was sad, but because I knew this was it. This is my path. Yoga is my passion. It wasn't just a class or a stretch or a healthy habit. Yoga was a portal for me, a transformation, a homecoming, a connection with my heart. So here we go with trusting the path. The magic didn't stop there. On the way back to Australia after a beautiful time in Costa Rica, meeting beautiful people, not drinking at all. At that point, I stopped drinking. My body started to feel so different, much lighter. I lost weight too. That was not my goal, but you know, the alcohol really like inflate your body. So, well, I was coming back to Australia and I got a flight. Was Costa Rica, Los Angeles, Hawaii, Sydney was the cheapest flight ever. And you know what happened? My final flight, so Hawaii, Australia, got cancelled. So I ended up accidentally living in Hawaii for a while on a boat. Wow, what? I remember the first time when I saw the email, I was like, no, what I'm gonna do? I'm stuck in Hawaii, you know, like stressed about it. And then I was like, hey girl, wait a sec. You're stuck in Hawaii. Can you believe that? In Hawaii. Let's enjoy. Let's go to Hawaii. The universe is sending you to Hawaii. So I did this coach surfing. I don't know if you know it, like someone just super friendly, let you live there with this person. So this guy was living on a boat, and yeah, he had a kayak and he gave me a tour around Hawaii. It was a beautiful time. I was feeling really over the moon. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, the universe just loved me. And I think that was the celebration after I found my passion, after I connected deeply with my heart. So then when I finally got to Melbourne, because then I got a flight from Hawaii to Melbourne, I had no money or no much. So I decided to take another job on a farm that is good money, just to make more money, so then I can fully work as a yoga teacher and give it a try. Also important to tell you, actually, when I was in this yoga teacher training in Costa Rica, I remember a Canadian guy asked me, hey Daniela, just wondering why you're not taking a Spanish training. If he were in Costa Rica, there are plenty of Spanish. Why you're coming to with English? And for me, it was like, I never thought of that. But then when he asked me, actually the answer was like, I never like the easy way. Never. I like the difficult way. And if I'm going to learn a Spanish course, you know, then I'm going to teach in English. It's like, no. I rather to already learn what I'm going to teach. So that was when I came here, things happened too, and then I moved to Brisbane with my camper van. That's when I finally say yes to my purpose. I walked into studios with fear, of course. I was scared of my accent, how I'm gonna teach with my accent, people don't gonna understand me, fear of not being good enough. But my heart was ready, and people started loving my classes. I was going there, even I was scared. I knocked the door of the studios and I say, hey, are you looking for a yoga teacher? Hey, I'm a yoga teacher, this is my resume. And the resume didn't have experience, you know, it was just about my skills. Like, yeah, you're trying to sell yourself when you want a job, when you want something in life. Of course, you need to go for it. So, a coach once said to me, you gonna be a hunted or a hunter? You gonna go for it, or you gonna wait things come for you? I love that. When people started loving my classes, they were my first classes, you know, just the beginning, and people was like, I love your class, oh my gosh, I feel so much different. I was like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. So I started teaching online too, and then the rest is history. And just to finish, yoga changed my life at all. but not in an Instagram perfect way. I want to be real, changing my life in a deep and real and healing way. I went deep. I went to touch my wounds, and that's why I do what I do now, to help other girls like you, other queens like you, to remember who you are, and so you can connect with your heart, with what you truly want, to come home to your bodies, to your heart, and to your power, because we, as queens, we have a unique power, girl, and we need to use it because it's there. If you're ready to explore your own journey, you must download my free ebook on manifestation. The link is below. It's for free. I made it from the deepest of my heart for you. So also I can tell you a bit more of me and step by step how to manifest correctly. And the first to know when my 5-day challenge launches is Awaken Your Woman Power. I'm working on it and I want to be with you. You're not alone. Your story is still unfolding like mine, and I'm honored to walk beside you. Big hug. See ya in the next one. Bye bye. Big kisses.